Good evening all and welcome to another video on All How the Ale. It's Saturday night, which means it's craft beer night, and the beer we're going for tonight hails from the USA. It's from Hoppin Frog. It's this one. It is barrel-aged Doris the Destroyer. And Doris the Destroyer is a double Imperial Stout, aged in whiskey barrels. It's a pint can, and it weighs in at 12.7% ABV. It costs a slightly eye-watering £15.50 a can. And there's not an awful lot that I can say about it. Where is it? It's on the can somewhere. Here we go. Aged in bourbon whiskey barrels to add a wonderful complexity to our massive American double Imperial Stout. This barrel aging imparts a memorable vanilla-like and savoury whiskey character. Another testament to our hard work and dedication in bringing our customers the very best. So yeah, Doris, the Destroyer. Double Imperial Stout. How good are you? Well, if you're as good as Boris, then you'll be brilliant. So let's find out. Let's get it out into a glass even, and see what we think. So I'm going to pour into my favourite stout glass, and it's this one, my Titanic goblet. The pour is dark, pretty thick. When I say pretty thick, I mean thicker than two short planks. We've got a lovely, lovely tight tan head on that. That is your beer up close in a glass. That is darker than the depths of my soul, and that head, look at the colour on that. That's rich. It's indulgent looking. It looks divine. Nothing. Literally nothing coming through from that. A black hole has got more light than this beer. There is zip coming through the bottom there. Anyway, let's have a whiff. Oh man. Okay. That is potent. It is a potent aroma. The first thing that hit me is smoky whiskey. Think Islay type whiskey, the really rich, deep, peaty whiskey. It's that kind of vibe. Behind that is a deep, rich, roasted malt and a berry-like note. It smells incredibly boozy. Oh, I've not smelt a beer quite so boozy since Sipping into Darkness, which was the collaboration that Hoppin Frog did with Lervig. That was incredibly boozy. This one, I think, is even more boozy than that. Huge boozy notes, big whiskey, big malt. Yeah, it smells incredible. So, it looks great. Smells, like I say, incredible. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers. Yes. The body on that is incredible. Ridiculously thick. Engine oil and then some. And then the flavour. This may well, and I know we're still at the tail end of December, be my beer of the year already. Massive roasted malts, hints of coffee, caramel. The whiskey is coming through. There is a nice oakiness to it. There is just an incredible depth of flavour. The caramel comes through as almost like a burnt sugar at times. It's the intensity of the flavour that is just mind-blowingly good. Hands down, it's the most intense flavoured stout I've had. And I've had some smoked ones. I've had some big brandy barrel-aged ones. this one tops the lot. It's huge. It's massive. And the character that imparts into this beer is just second to none. Boris was brilliant. This is just damn. And it's one you want to sit and sip slowly. It's boozy as hell. And intense malts, coffee, burnt sugar. I'm looking for the vanilla that they mention. And whilst it's not immediately obvious that it's like a vanilla as you would know it, it's in the same vein as whiskey is described as being toffee, vanilla, caramel, that kind of presence. It's not obvious, but it's bloody good. And the finish on this one is just long, involved, comforting, warming. And there is a little hint of a burn. Not much, just a tiny hint. Oh, wow. It's like the nectar of the gods being poured over my tongue. It's wonderful, ladies and gents, boys and girls, but we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to go to the scoreboard of joy, as always, which looks like so. And I'm going to get the red pen of judgment and fill it in. It seems a bit of a pointless exercise at this point, because I think we already know where this is going based on my statement of this may well be my beer of the year already. So we're just going to top it off because we can. Look at the pour. The viscosity of the beer coming out of the can is just incredible. The colour is so rich and deep and roasty. The head is just incredible. Wonderful, wonderful looking beer that. It's having a point. The aroma is also having a point. Think big, oaky whiskey. Think coffee. Think the burnt toffee. Think the booze. Just think the richness of a deep whiskey. If you've ever been around a distillery, you'll know the smell. It's got that unique kind of mash tun smell. It's wonderful. It's arguably the booziest smelling beer I've had in a long time. Like I say, it's worthy of a point. And then some, and we'll cover that later. The body, exceptional. It's certainly on the super heavy side. It's thick. The mouth feels incredible. The carbonation is suppressed. It's like pouring double cream into your mouth. It's wonderful, just without that slightly cloying nature that double cream has. Whilst it's heavy, it's not cloying. It's incredible. And the flavour, that is also having a full point. It's superb. It's complex as they come. You've got that beautiful oakiness. You've got that smoky, burnt sugar flavour. You've got the roasted malts. You've got hints of coffee. You've got that soft, subtle, whiskey-like vanilla flavour. Like I mentioned, it's not obvious vanilla. It's that background sweetness. And it's just incredible. Superb. One of, if not the most complex tasting beer I've had. There we go, I've said it. And the finish. On a stout like this, I want it to be rich, roasty, warming, long, and it's all of those. There is a subtle bitterness on the back end as well. Not massively so, but just enough to stop it kind of going into super sweet territory. It's not a sweet beer by any stretch, but you can imagine if you take the bitterness away, it would definitely sit on the sweeter side of the spectrum. Given that the whiskey booziness, it's no surprise that that aspect is present on the back end. So yeah, it's having a full 5 out of 5. So we come to the bonus points. Would I buy this one again? Yes. Yes, I would. And that's an important thing because the next one is value for money. Like I say, £15.50 for a US pint can, which is 480 something mil. 16 ounces, yeah, about 480 something mil. It's a lot of money, but it's a hell of a beer. So absolutely value for money. It's a beer that will last me quite some time now. This, I don't want to gulp it. Well, I do, but I want it to last. I want to enjoy it. I want to savour it. And this is an important thing. I have had this one chilling in the fridge. It's been out of the fridge for about 40 minutes prior to this review. And it is still cool. It's not cold by any stretch. But this one is only going to improve as it warms up, as those flavours kind of bloom. So yeah, is it the best double Imperial Stout that I've had this year? Well, this review year, it's the first one. But without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to take some beating. And I suspect that come December 2025, when I release my videos for Beer of the Year 25, this one is going to probably sit on top of that list, like Boris, for 2024. So yeah, Barrel Aged Doris has got all the points, and rightly so as well. It's a fantastic beer, absolutely fantastic. A beer that's got this much flavour. If there are any more, please let me know, because I need to hunt them down and try them. And yeah, if you haven't tried Doris, you absolutely should. And yeah, what a beer! What a beer! And yeah, I'm going to leave it there and say that's arguably going to be the best beer of 2025. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.